I found the envelope in his jacket pocket while looking for his car keys. My hands froze on the hotel receipt dated 3 nights ago, the same night he told me he was working late. My stomach dropped as I pulled out a second receipt, this one from a jewelry store, a woman's bracelet. I never got a bracelet. 23 years of marriage, and I thought I knew every corner of our life together. We met at 18, married at 20, never kissed anyone else. We were supposed to be each other's everything. But standing in our bedroom with these receipts in my shaking hands, I realized how little I actually knew. "Babe, did you find them?" Mark called from downstairs. I stuffed the receipts back into his pocket and grabbed the keys from the dresser where they'd been sitting all along. My heart hammered against my ribs as I walked down the stairs, each step feeling like I was descending into a different reality. "Got them," I said, dangling the keys. He looked up from his phone, and something in his expression shifted. Guilt? Recognition? He knows I know something. "Thanks." He reached for the keys, but I pulled them back. "Where were you Thursday night?" "Thursday?" He tilted his head, pretending to think. "Working late, I told you." "Right, working late." I tossed him the keys harder than necessary. They hit his chest before he caught them. "What time are you coming home tonight?" "Probably around 10, big project deadline." I watched him leave, watched his car pull out of the driveway, and then I did something I'd never done before. I opened his laptop. The password was our anniversary. How fitting. His email loaded, and I saw her name immediately. Sarah, the woman from 5 years ago, the one who almost destroyed us, the one who wanted him physically, but he couldn't cross that line. Except, apparently, lines move. The most recent email was from this morning. "Last night was amazing. I can't stop thinking about your hands on me. When can I see you again?" My vision blurred. I scrolled up. 4 months of emails, hundreds of them, plans, memories, photos I couldn't bring myself to open. And then I found the one that made my blood turn to ice. "I know you're scared to tell her, but she deserves to know. We can't keep sneaking around. You said you wanted us both, so tell her or I will." Dated 2 weeks ago. He'd had 2 weeks to tell me and said nothing. I called my sister. "Amy, something's wrong," I said the moment she picked up. "What happened?" "Mark's been seeing Sarah again, for months." Silence. "Amy?" "I know." 2 words that shattered everything else. "You know?" "He told me last month. He swore he was going to tell you. He said he just needed time to figure out how. And you didn't think to warn me?" "It wasn't my place, Claire. He's your husband." I hung up, threw my phone across the room. It bounced off the couch and clattered onto the floor. My own sister knew. How many other people knew? His friends? Her husband? Was I the only one living in ignorance? I paced the living room, my mind racing through every conversation, every late night, every time he came home smelling different. How many lies had I swallowed? The front door opened at 10:30. Mark walked in looking tired but content, happy even. "Hey, babe." He kissed my forehead like nothing was wrong, like he hadn't just spent the evening with another woman. "Sit down," I said. "What's wrong?" "Sit down." He sat on the edge of the couch, his face shifting from confusion to concern to something that looked like preparation. He knows. "I found the receipts," I said. Then I found the emails. All color drained from his face. "Claire, I can explain." "Oh, I'm sure you can. You've had months to prepare an explanation." I stood in front of him, arms crossed. "Start talking." "I was going to tell you." "When? When were you going to tell me? Before or after you moved her into our house?" "That's not fair." "Fair?" My voice rose. "You want to talk about fair? You've been cheating on me for 4 months and I'm the one being unfair?" "It's not cheating." He stood up, defensive now. "I haven't been lying to you." "You literally have been lying to me every single day." "I mean, about what this is, about what I need." He ran his hands through his hair. "Claire, I've been doing research, reading about different relationship structures. I think I need more than monogamy. I think I always have." "So because you think you need more, you just get to take it without asking me first?" I'm asking you now. No, you're telling me. There's a difference. I grabbed my phone from where it had landed. You're telling me you've already got a girlfriend. You've already been physical with her. You're just informing me that my marriage is now a completely different thing. I want you both. He stepped closer. I love you, Claire. I always have. But I also have feelings for Sarah. Strong feelings. And I think if we can open this up, if we can try polyamory, we could all be happy. Polyamory. The word tasted bitter. Is that what you're calling this? There's a whole community, people who love multiple people ethically. Ethically? I laughed, sharp and cold. You think what you did was ethical? I know I should have talked to you first. I know that. But I also know that if I'd asked permission, you would have said no without even considering it. He was probably right about that. But that didn't justify anything. Get out, I said quietly. What? Get out of this house. Go stay with Sarah if she makes you so happy. Go be with your girlfriend. Claire, please, let's talk about this. We are talking about it, and I'm telling you to leave. This is my house, too. Then I'll leave. I grabbed my purse and keys. But we're not sleeping under the same roof tonight. I drove to a hotel with shaking hands, checked into a room that smelled like cheap air freshener, and sat on the edge of the bed, staring at nothing. My phone buzzed constantly. Mark calling, texting, apologizing and explaining and justifying. I turned it off. The silence was worse somehow. In the quiet, I could hear my own thoughts, and they were screaming. 23 years. 2 daughters in college who thought their parents were solid. A life built on the foundation of us against the world, and he'd taken a sledgehammer to it without even asking if I was ready. I turned my phone back on and called my friend Jessica. She answered on the first ring. Claire, it's almost midnight. Mark's been having an affair, I said, and he wants me to just accept it, wants to call it polyamory and act like he didn't betray everything we built. Oh, honey, where are you? Some hotel off the highway. I just needed to not be there. Do you want me to come get you? No, I just needed to tell someone who didn't already know. What do you mean already know? My sister knew. He told her a month ago. Apparently, I'm the last person to find out my husband has a girlfriend. Jessica swore creatively. That's messed up. What are you going to do? I don't know. Divorce him? Forgive him? Join a polyamory group and pretend I'm okay sharing my husband? I laughed without humor. I spent my whole adult life with this man. I don't even know who I am without him. Then maybe it's time to find out. I spent the night lying awake, staring at the ceiling, thinking about everything that led here. The 5 times he'd met someone who filled some hole in his heart. The 5 times I'd broken down, unable to function, terrified of losing him. The 5 times we'd taken breaks and come back together because we couldn't imagine life apart. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe we'd spent so long being afraid of being apart that we never questioned whether being together was actually working. By morning, I had a plan. Not a good plan, not a healthy plan, but a plan. I drove home at 7. Mark's car was in the driveway. I found him at the kitchen table, looking like he hadn't slept either. We need to talk, I said. Okay. He looked so hopeful it made me angry. If you want to try polyamory, actually try it. We do this right. We don't just let you keep your girlfriend while I sit at home wondering who you're with. We both date. We both explore. His face went through several expressions. You want to date other people? You already are. So yeah, if we're opening this marriage, we're opening it for both of us. I didn't think you'd want that. I didn't think you'd want to cheat on me either. Looks like we're both full of surprises. I poured coffee with steady hands, though inside I was falling apart. Here are my conditions. You tell me everything about you and Sarah, every detail, no more secrets. You introduce me to her properly, and you give me the same freedom you're taking for yourself. Okay. He nodded too quickly. Okay, we can do that. And you sleep in the guest room until I say otherwise. That made him flinch. For how long? Until I decide I can trust you again, if I ever can. He started talking and I listened. 4 months ago, Sarah's marriage had ended. She'd reached out to Mark, just to catch up, just as friends. But the connection was still there, the hole in his heart that I apparently couldn't fill. They started meeting for coffee, then lunch, then dinner. When did it become physical? I asked. About a month ago. What does physical mean? He shifted uncomfortably. Kissing, touching. We haven't had sex yet. Yet. She wants to. I told her I needed to talk to you first. How noble of you. I sipped my coffee. It tasted like ash. What does she know about me? Everything. I've told her everything. Does she know you were sneaking around behind my back? She knows it's complicated. That's not what I asked. He looked down. She knows I should have told you sooner. She's been pushing me to be honest with you. At least she had more integrity than my husband. That was something. I want to meet her, I said. What? If she's going to be part of our lives, I want to meet her this week. Claire, are you sure? No, but we're doing it anyway. He set it up for Friday, 3 days away. 3 days to prepare myself to meet the woman who'd been kissing my husband, the woman he loved enough to blow up our marriage for. I spent those 3 days researching polyamory forums, books, articles, videos. I learned words like compersion and metamor and new relationship energy. I learned that what Mark did was called cheating, then asking for polyamory, and it was basically the worst possible way to open a relationship. I also signed up for dating apps. If we were doing this, I was actually doing this. By Friday, I had 3 dates lined up for the following week, and a stomach full of acid. Mark and I drove to the coffee shop in silence. Sarah was already there, sitting in the corner, looking nervous. She was pretty in an understated way. Curly brown hair, green eyes, a nervous smile that probably charmed my husband. Claire, she said, standing, thank you for meeting me. Let's not pretend this is a social call. I sat down without shaking her hand. You've been sleeping with my husband. We haven't slept together, she said quietly. Yet. That seems to be everyone's favorite word lately. Mark looked between us, clearly regretting this meeting already. I know you're angry, Sarah continued. You have every right to be. Mark should have told you about us from the beginning. I told him that. But you kept seeing him anyway? Yes, I did. She met my eyes. Because I love him, and I think he loves me too. And I think love doesn't have to be limited to one person. How convenient for you. I'm not trying to steal him from you. I know you've been together for over 2 decades. I respect that. I just want a chance to be part of his life too. You want me to share my husband? I want us all to build something together, something honest. I looked at Mark. He was watching Sarah like she was performing a miracle, like she was saying everything he couldn't figure out how to say. And something inside me cracked wide open. You really love her, I said. I really do, he admitted. And you love me? Of course I do. Then you're going to have to prove it. I stood up. Because right now, I don't believe you. Right now, I think you just want your cake and eat it too. You want the wife at home and the exciting girlfriend on the side. You want me to be okay with you breaking my heart? That's not what this is, he insisted. Then what is it? Explain it to me. Make me understand why after 23 years of monogamy, you suddenly need someone else. He struggled for words. Sarah watched him, waiting. I feel like I've been living half a life, he finally said. Like there's this capacity for love inside me that I've never been able to fully express. With Sarah, I feel more whole, but that doesn't mean I love you less. It means I can love more. That's a nice theory, but in practice, you lied to me for months. You let your girlfriend push you to be honest while you kept chickening out. You gave her honesty and gave me deception. So forgive me if I don't trust your capacity for love right now. I left them there, walked out of the coffee shop, and sat in my car crying so hard I couldn't see. My phone rang. Mark. I declined the call. Then Sarah called. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity won. What? I know I'm probably the last person you want to hear from right now, she said, But I wanted to tell you something. Mark didn't want to meet today. He was scared. I'm the one who pushed for it because I thought you deserved to know who I am. I'm not some fantasy. I'm real. My feelings are real. And I genuinely want to try to make this work for all of us. Why do you care what I want? Because I've been the wife who got cheated on. I know what that feels like. And I don't want to be the other woman causing that pain. If this is going to work, it has to be consensual for everyone, including you. I didn't know what to say to that. Think about it, she said. If this isn't what you want, tell Mark. I'll step back. But if you're willing to try, actually try, I promise I'll respect your relationship with him. She hung up before I could respond. I drove home alone. Mark came back hours later, looking wrecked. I'm sorry, he said immediately. I'm so sorry. For which part? Cheating on me, falling in love with someone else, or making me meet her? All of it. I've handled this terribly. Yeah, you have. I poured wine with shaking hands. I have a date on Tuesday. His face went white. What? You heard me. If we're open, we're open. I signed up for dating apps. I've got 3 dates lined up. That was fast. 4 months for you, 3 days for me. I'd say you got a head start. He sat down heavily. I didn't think you'd actually want to date other people. What did you think? That I'd just sit home while you gallivant around with Sarah? I laughed bitterly. No, if you get a girlfriend, I get to date too. Those are the rules. Okay, he said quietly. That's fair. None of this is fair, but it's where we are. My first date was with a guy named Tom, 45, divorced, 2 kids. We met for dinner at a place across town where I wouldn't run into anyone I knew. He was nice enough, funny, attentive. He made me laugh for the first time in days. But when he walked me to my car and leaned in for a kiss, I froze. I'm sorry, I said, pulling back. This was nice, but I'm not ready. No problem. If you want to try again sometime, give me a call. I sat in my car and cried again. 23 years with one man, and I couldn't even kiss someone else without falling apart. I canceled my other 2 dates. Mark noticed I was home that night. He didn't say anything, but I could see the relief in his eyes. It made me angry all over again. Where are you going? I asked when he grabbed his keys Thursday evening. Out with Sarah. Dinner and a movie. I told you this morning. Right, have fun. You could come with us if you want. Why would I want to watch you be with her? He didn't have an answer for that. I spent the evening alone, scrolling through his location on my phone like a crazy person. They were at the Italian place we used to go to for anniversaries, then at the movie theater. Then the location stopped moving. Parking lot, making out in the car like teenagers. I threw my phone across the room again. This was going to become a habit. When he came home, at midnight, smelling like her perfume, I pretended to be asleep. He climbed into the guest bed without trying to talk to me. This became our routine. He'd go out with Sarah twice a week. I'd stay home and slowly lose my mind. He'd come back smelling like someone else. I'd pretend I was fine with it. 2 months in, Sarah invited me to lunch. Just the 2 of us. Why? I asked when Mark relayed the message. She wants to get to know you, build a relationship with you. I don't want a relationship with her. Please, Claire, for me, just try. So I went, sat across from her at a cafe, ordering salad I wouldn't eat. Thank you for coming, she said. I'm here. Say what you need to say. I want to know what you need from this situation, because Mark keeps telling me you're okay with everything, but I don't think you are. Why does it matter what I need? You're sleeping with my husband either way. We're still not having sex, actually. Mark says he wants to wait until you're more comfortable. That surprised me. He said that? He's trying to respect your feelings, even if he's bad at showing it. She stirred her coffee. Look, I know this isn't what you signed up for. I know I'm disrupting your life. But I care about Mark, and I care about not being the reason your marriage ends. So tell me, what do you need? I stared at her. This woman who'd somehow slipped into my life and turned everything upside down. This woman my husband loved. I need to matter, I said finally. I need to not feel like the consolation prize. I need him to look at me the way he looks at you. He does look at you that way. No, he doesn't. Not anymore. My voice cracked. He looks at you like you're magic. He looks at me like I'm furniture. Sarah reached across the table, but I pulled my hand away. I think you should talk to him about this, she said gently. I've tried. He just tells me he loves me and nothing will change. But everything has already changed. I left before my salad arrived, sat in my car and called my daughter. Mom, what's wrong? Just hearing Emma's voice made me cry harder. Your father and I are having problems. What kind of problems? How do you tell your 21-year-old daughter that her father has a girlfriend? How do you explain that you're trying to be okay with it, but you're drowning? We're figuring some things out, that's all. Are you getting divorced? I don't know, honey. Maybe. She was quiet for a long moment. Whatever you decide, I support you. You know that, right? I know. After we hung up, I made a decision. I called Tom. Claire, didn't expect to hear from you. Are you still interested in that second date? We met Saturday night. Dinner again, but this time I let him hold my hand across the table. I let him make me laugh. And when he walked me to my car, I kissed him first. It felt wrong and right at the same time, like betrayal and rebellion and freedom all mixed together. Wow, he said when we broke apart. Yeah. Same time next week? Maybe sooner. I told Mark that night, walked into the living room where he was watching TV and said it straight out. I kissed someone. He paused the show. Okay. That's it? Just okay? What do you want me to say? You're allowed to date other people. We agreed. You're not even a little bit jealous? Should I be? I wanted him to be furious. I wanted him to understand how I'd felt seeing those hotel receipts. But he just sat there, calm and supportive, and it made me want to scream. His name is Tom. He's divorced. I like him. Good. I'm glad you're putting yourself out there. I might sleep with him. That got a reaction. Just a flicker across his face, but it was there. Are you ready for that? Are you? With Sarah? I'm waiting for you to be okay with it. What if I'm never okay with it? He didn't answer. I started seeing Tom twice a week. Mark kept seeing Sarah. We were like ships passing in the night, polite and distant. Our daughters came home for spring break and immediately knew something was wrong. You guys seem weird, Emma said over dinner. We're fine, Mark said. You're definitely not fine. You're barely looking at each other. Your father and I are exploring an open relationship, I said, because I was tired of lying. Both girls stared at us. What? Maya, our younger daughter, put down her fork. Like, you're dating other people? Yes, Mark said. And you're both okay with this? Emma looked between us. We're figuring it out, I said. That's not an answer, Mom. She was right. It wasn't. Because the truth was, I wasn't okay. I was drowning. But I didn't know how to stop. The girls went back to school, and Mark and I went back to our separate lives. Him with Sarah, me with Tom, neither of us with each other. Then Sarah's birthday came. Mark asked if I wanted to come to her party, a small gathering at her apartment with her friends. A chance to integrate our lives. No, I said immediately. Claire, please, this is important to her. To us. Why would I celebrate the birthday of the woman who's sleeping with my husband? We still haven't had sex. Why not? It's been months. Because I'm waiting for you to be ready. Stop putting this on me. If you want to sleep with her, sleep with her. Stop making it my decision. I want your blessing. You don't have it. But he went to her party anyway, and I sat home, eating ice cream and stalking their social media like a jealous teenager. Photos of them together, looking happy. Her friends commenting about what a cute couple they made. No mention of me anywhere. I called Tom. Can you come over? Now. It's 10 p.m. Please. I need to not be alone right now. He came, and for the first time since this all started, I let someone else into my bed. It wasn't love. It wasn't even particularly good, but it was something that belonged to just me, something Mark didn't have a claim on. Tom left at 2 a.m. Mark came home at 3. "How was the party?" I asked from the couch. He jumped, not expecting me awake. "Good. She liked her gift." "What did you get her?" "A bracelet. Of course. The one I'd found the receipt for months ago." "The same one you bought in January?" He had the grace to look ashamed. "I was waiting for the right time to give it to her." "And her birthday seemed right?" "Claire, don't do this." "Do what?" "Point out that you've been planning presents for your girlfriend while barely remembering my birthday?" "I didn't forget your birthday. You gave me a gift card. You said you wanted to pick your own gift." "I was being polite. I wanted you to actually think about what I might like." I stood up. "Tom was here tonight." His whole body went rigid. "What?" "We slept together. Our bed. Thought you should know." The pain in his face was satisfying and terrible all at once. "How could you?" he whispered. "How could I? That's rich coming from you." "This is different." "Why? Because you're in love with Sarah and I'm just sleeping with Tom? Because your thing is meaningful and mine is just revenge? Is that what this is? Revenge?" Maybe it was. Maybe I was just as bad as him now. Maybe we'd both destroyed this marriage beyond repair. "I want a divorce," I said. "What? No, Claire, we can work through this." "Can we? Because I don't think we can. I think we've both moved on. We're just too scared to admit it." "I haven't moved on from you. I still love you." "You love the idea of me, the safety of me, but you're not in love with me anymore, and I don't think I'm in love with you either." Saying it out loud made it real, made it final. Mark sank onto the couch. "What about everything we built? 23 years, 2 daughters, a whole life. Maybe we had a good run. Maybe that's enough." "It's not enough for me." "But Sarah is?" He didn't answer. Didn't need to. I called a lawyer Monday morning. Filed papers Tuesday afternoon. Told the girls Wednesday night. They cried, I cried, Mark cried. But underneath the grief, there was something else. Relief. We put the house up for sale, split everything down the middle, stayed civil for the girls, and slowly, painfully, we untangled 23 years of shared life. Sarah called me in the middle of the divorce proceedings. "I heard about the divorce. I'm sorry." "Are you, though?" "Yes, actually, because Mark's miserable." "Then he can be miserable with you. He doesn't want to be with me if he can't be with you, too." That stopped me. "What?" "He's ending things with me. Says he can't do this if it means losing you." I should have felt victorious. Instead, I just felt sad. "That's his choice to make," I said. "He loves you, Claire. He made a mistake, but he loves you." Love isn't enough sometimes. We hurt each other too much. There's no coming back from that. After we hung up, I sat with that truth. Mark had chosen me in the end, but it was too late. The damage was done. We'd both crossed lines we couldn't uncross, said things we couldn't unsay, become people we didn't recognize. The divorce was final 6 months later. I kept the house, he took the 401k, we split custody of the heartbreak. I stopped seeing Tom, deleted the dating apps, spent a year just figuring out who I was outside of being Mark's wife. It was harder than I expected, lonelier, but also freer. Mark and Sarah didn't get back together. Last I heard, he was single and in therapy, working through his need for multiple relationships and his fear of being alone. I hope he figures it out. As for me, I'm learning to be okay with just me. Maybe someday I'll date again. Maybe I'll even try polyamory for real, on my own terms. Or maybe I'll stay single and build a life that's entirely mine. No compromises, no sharing. Just me. Either way, I'm finally the one making the choice. And that's enough. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Was I right to end things, or should I have tried harder to make the open relationship work?